welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine, and today I will be your guide through the Mindscapes Tarot. So, the Mindscapes Tarot is a recent publication from Hay House. It was published in 2025. The author and illustrator is John A. Rice. He's not only an author and illustrator, but he's also a screenwriter and an actor, so he's very, very multi-talented. The Mindscapes Tarot is his first tarot deck. And his mission in creating this tarot deck was to foster healing, integration, creativity through otherworldly landscapes, empowering the internal world so that we can enrich our outer world. That comes from his website, jasstudiosnyc.com. I will put that link in the description box below. So, what's really exciting about this deck is, first off, as it is self-described, it is the mindscapes, or it's entirely landscapes. There are maybe subtle hints of perhaps people, or maybe it's statues, maybe it's an animal, but it focuses on the landscape, which really allows the reader to kind of open their mind and envision themselves in the landscape and intuit the tarot from that kind of perspective. So it's very, very interesting. He also uses an oil pastel technique of painting. If you want to call it painting, is somewhere between painting and drawing. So it has this wonderful impressionist type of feel to the deck. So let's go ahead and start looking at the deck. So as you can see, it comes in this nice little, very sturdy cardboard two-piece box here. And in the box, first off, you get the guidebook, Mindscapes Tarot. The guidebook is 199 pages. It is not illustrated, it is in black and white. Every entry has keywords, your planetary and zodiacal attributions, symbology, and then a very nice definition of the card. It contains both positive and negative definitions, but it's not necessarily set up to be reversals. What's also nice is each card also has an action or a mantra or something to think about as a conclusion to the card. So it doesn't just leave you with a definition. It also gives you, here are some affirmations, a place to go. It gives you a place to go with what he's offered here. So very, very, very interesting. And the second exciting thing, other than being a very impressionist type of deck, is it's got 80 cards. We have 24 major arcana. We start with the Fool, and we go through the world, and we go a little bit beyond to the Catacomb and to the Great Work. You also have 4 suits, and they are branches. And you have Page, Knight, Queen, and King, and we'll get a little close up on these cards here in a minute. Tides is your water suit. It's nice thick cardstock. And even though this is a Hay House deck, it is not quite as wide as most Hay House decks. So your air suit is the suit of spires. The card size is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4, which is pretty normal for a tarot deck, or 7 by 12 centimeters. And then finally, stones is your earth suit here. And I really love what he's done with this. This is really cool. And like I said, we'll just we'll get a little closer on this right now. Okay, going through the cards one by one, beginning with the Fool. So we start with the Fool here on the pier with their little dog getting ready to board a ship. I find that just wonderfully evocative. The Magician And like I said, these are all landscapes. We're not going to see a whole lot of people. I mean, there's sort of this suggestion of a little person down here, but it's not person focused. The idea is to get into the landscape, to kind of be part of it. So the magician, yeah, you have kind of the tools of the trade, but the idea here is that this is specific and skilled work that is creating a manifestation right here. Really beautiful. I think this is probably my favorite card in the deck, the High Priestess. We've got a little person here going into the fortune teller's tent at like a carnival or something like that. Really, I love that. I just love it. Empress. And here's kind of where we talk about, is it a person? Is it a statue? Hard to tell, but that's the point. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. Again, some statuary kind of up here. Very beautiful garden. The Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. You can see the mountain path up to the Hermit's cave here. And there's a spiral drawn on the wall in the cave, so you think your hermit's going to be back any moment, pondering the spirals of nature. Wheel of Fortune, we have a spider at the middle of the web there. Justice. Interesting that it's kind of like this Greek revival, Roman kind of landscape there. One of the few cityscapes. We'll see another cityscape here in a minute. The Hanged One. Beautiful. Death. What an interesting concept of death here. If you look closely, we've got some broken colonial style artillery pieces in an old battlefield. What an interesting commentary on the transformation aspect of death. Temperance, another fabulous interpretation here because we have lava from the volcano reaching the cold ocean. I mean, I think that's just brilliant. As promised, here's the other cityscape, the Devil. So we have this very modern electrical. We've got a trolley bus ahead of us with the tail lights, it's brake lights. Yeah, very interesting. The Tower. The Star. This one made the cover of the magazine, so to speak. The book cover. The Moon. You can see the wolf howling at the moon up here on the pinnacle there. The cliff. The Sun. You kind of have a little echo of maybe little children or somebody walking down the path. Judgment. This reminds me a little of New Orleans, where you have all of the cemeteries are elevated. The World. Like Mount Olympus up there. The Catacomb, and here's where we come to the cards that the author artist has contributed. And the Catacomb is actually sort of a reflection on ancestry from the definition of the book. And the great work of ascending the divine. Beautiful. Let's move on to branches. It is the fire suit, so that would correspond to wands in a lot of Rider-Waite-Smith type decks, or even in the Thelemite Toth decks. So we have 2. Notice our little orchard is growing. With 3, 4 orchards in bloom. 5. We've had some blight, maybe some despair. 6. Some rejuvenation there, something to celebrate. 7. Something contentious. Got some fire burning part of our orchard there. 8. We've got regrowth. All these saplings shooting up. 9. Sustaining through winter. And the 10. Full maturity there. Growth. Page of branches. Kind of looking down from an attic over a garden. Knight of branches. We're looking out of a tent to a campfire. Queen of branches. Looks from a storehouse to the outdoors. And the king of branches. A mill from a stream. Let's move on to tides. We begin with the ace of tides. Either a sunrise or a sunset, depends on how you like to look at that. 2 of tides. 3 of tides. The dolphins playing in the water. 4 of tides. This is part of the handle of the Little Dipper there. 5 of tides. We have some stormy seas. 6 of tides. 7. If you look closely here, that's a boat with its sails down. Very beautiful. 8 of tides. 9 of tides. Same idea, only the sails are hoisted there. 10 of tides. We go to the page. The knight, the bow of the ship. The queen, the lighthouse. And the king. Moving on to spires. Beginning with the ace of spires. 2. The 2 pathways, which way are you going to go? 3 of spires, like a broken fence here. Something shattered, something old. 4 of spires. 5 of spires. Have a fortress on a hill here. 6 of spires. We've got all these bridges across the chasms here. 7 of spires. 8 of spires. Difficult to cross, but you have your star for navigation there. 9 of spires. Volcano. It's raining ash and little flecks of burning rock. 10 of spires. Next, we'll move on to the page of spires. You're in the basket of a hot air balloon. Knight of spires. The cockpit of an airplane. Love that. Queen of spires. An empty nest because the eagles are out flying in the mountains. And the king of spires. Base camp at the summit. Where would that be? The summit camp. Whatever. On to stones. Ace of stones. So we begin here with one little building out in the edge of civilization there. 2 buildings. Neighborhood's growing. 3 of stones. Got some more houses in the distance, building a tower, minaret. Four of Stones. The area develops. There's becoming a wall, a castle. Five of Stones, sandstorm. Let's see that a little closer there. Six of Stones. Seven of Stones, there's more building. Eight of Stones. Nine of Stones, we see the city at its peak. And the Ten of Stones. We see the archaeologist finding the ruins of the city and discovering what it used to be. Oh, I love it. Page of Stones. Knight of Stones. Queen of Stones. And the King of Stones. Well, I hope you enjoyed our journey through the Mindscapes Tarot. Roses and thorns for this deck? No thorns. I think this is a fabulous deck. I think it adds to the genre of tarot very beautifully. I love the idea of just being part of a landscape and being able to take an empathic view from these cards. I think the artwork is really beautiful. I think he's just done a tremendous job putting together, very simple but very profound concepts for this deck. Really, really enjoy. The writing is very good. It gives you a really nice feeling for each of the cards. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith type deck, so it is not like completely different meanings of cards. So if you're familiar with either Toth or Rider-Waite-Smith or even Marseille, yes, you can use those same concepts to use this deck. It's not way far out, but it's got some really great perspectives. And I also like that he includes the astrological attributions as well. So I find that to be very, very helpful because sometimes that's hard to keep straight in one's mind. If you like this video, please hit like. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. I am going to follow this up with a reading using the Mindscapes Tarot, and I really hope you will join me for that video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.